Hi guys, so let's do this. First of all, I apologize that I did not upload any video on Thursday or Friday about the Battle of Gods, but trust me, I did have a lot of struggle with recording. I've never done any videos really like this and posting online or social media, so this is part of my Battle of Gods, and maybe it's just a good example, or maybe I'm just gonna tell you a little bit about it because I have been preparing for this with all the information that I wanted to give you for the Battle of God video for days, and I have so many thoughts and bookmarks done online and the notes in a book. But then when I was pressing record and I started talking, I was stopping after a minute or two and I started like having totally different thoughts and started talking about something I wasn't really aware about. I didn't have this many information about it yet. So it got to the point where I got really, really frustrated with myself. And then I started thinking that I can't do 2-3 hours video, explaining how all this, what's going on, is connecting with the past. And I've the best examples that I could collect, and trust me, nothing. The alignment is none of the examples from the past are as meaningful and strong and with crazy stuff as we have this year, and especially the next 4 months or so will be full of this kind of events. But 1988, 1941, 1768, 1518, 1546, 1280, 1043, 784, 547, 316, and 4480. All these events, I really want to tell you all about it and show the planet alignments, plus with like the major points and events that we're gonna have to the end of the year, and even this week. It's just absolutely crazy. It's already started this weekend. Like the alignment this weekend, and I really, really felt it, was that we were like more in the future than in the present, or even thinking about the past. Whoever still thinks about the past. So I think I was trying to tell you too much at once, and what caused it is that I have disconnected from basically everything and everyone for quite, especially whole this year with the quarantine. Then even 2019, I was just going through all the personal growth events and volunteering on them, and I even have all these on my crew and all my tags with me. They travel with me. Then from one thing to another, things were connecting. I was just pushed to learn and learn more, and read more, and find out more and more about this, and that. And everything was connecting for me. I couldn't just focus on, and stop on just one thing. And let's say, okay, I want to be tarot reader, or I want to be astrologer, or numerologer, or, life coach, whatever it means to someone. But I just wasn't feeling it. I just feel like everything connects, and all the things, and plus much more, because obviously the natural healing and even breathwork is all kind of energy works. All these are tools to get us to the source, right? To the place that we really wanna feel fulfilled and happy. So I just couldn't stop. And actually this weekend, the energies pushed me to even much more information. And I started questioning, like, I think that's the battle of gods right now for everyone, or Uranus, and that's all like this common weekend, Saturday, Sunday energies, which we may already be feeling, and pushing us to go to break through to the next level. And then we have Chiron and Mars and or the alignment to the stellium in Capricorn, which is maybe bringing a lot of the restricting energy. We're like, we're not sure why we should even, if we even need to, or if we want to go to the new, right? Because so I've started thinking that I'm already speaking Chinese to a lot of people, and that maybe the 2-3 hours video is not the best idea, because it's not like I just want to flood you with information. And like I said, I have disconnected from a lot. I don't even watch any media. I stopped connecting, talking to people, because almost 24/7 I was just in these energies and books and all the information and meditations, and that, you know, my own life stopped hurting. I can tell any story from my life and find all the best in it and say it without really much hurt. But especially this weekend was about Chiron and Mars. So let me at least tell you about this so you can understand of the struggle. So Chiron was Chiron is called Wounded Healer. It's an asteroid right now, but it was, in mythology, he was half horse, half human. And why Wounded Healer? His mother goddess was, he was son of gods, but the mother was raped. So when he was born, she was disgusted with him and she abandoned him. Then the god Apollo found him and taught him everything he could: arts, music, healing with herbs, medicine, martial arts, speaking, teaching, you name it. He was just beloved of everyone. He was teacher for so many heroes and gods later, for like fights and knowledge and everything. And one night when he was, because he lived in a cave with some of his friends, that was attack on the cave, and one of his friends accidentally shot a poisonous arrow at Chiron, and Chiron could not heal himself. His pain from the poison was so big, he could not heal himself with any herbs, anything, and finally started begging gods for death because he was immortal. And gods agreed to finish his pain, and then they put him on the skies between Saturn and Uranus. And you know, I really don't want to make it to 3 hours because I can talk about it day and night. But what's important here is that Saturn, it's the last of our personal planets. It has really big impact on our personal lives. And we have the Saturn returns and everything, and it's a god of time. And then we have Uranus, which is first of this more global and generational planets. So what's next? Like Chiron right now is in Aries sign, and also Mars is in Aries. Mars is at his home, and it's this masculine, strong energy, and wants to initiate a lot of good and a lot of battles in us, and also all over the world. You know, it all connects from us, from within, to whatever it's happening on a global level, to whatever it's happening on the skies, or even out of the solar system, galactic, and more in the whole universe. We really can connect to anything and any energies. We just have to understand that we are just walking antennas, just connecting with it, and we can just like in the radio, change the channels and frequencies that we want to kind of tune in, and whatever alignment is in the sky is helping us. and wants us to push to the next level in a game. And that's all it's really happening. Whatever it's happening right now, it's not even like a battle. I started thinking after this weekend about it not as a battle, but as a battle in a game where all these energies are trying to push all of us collectively to the next level. So imagine that we have to basically like see like layers in the air, where the lower layers are have darker colors, lower energies. Mostly they come from our ego and not from our heart, and then that's why we have all the mix of stuff that we have created with all this work. And then we go higher, it gets easier and easier, and there is no bad feelings. There is only love, compassion, and joy and bliss. Really, so that's really what's going on, even collectively. Uh, but for the next 4 months, as crazy as all this stuff, whatever's happening, and even painful for many, we should focus the energy instead of connecting with the fear and drama that's media is feeding us. And there will be a lot of it, especially next week of the alignment, when there will be a lot of it and a lot of even lies, stronger and stronger lies from media. We should focus the energy within, because Chiron goes around the zodiac within like 14 and a half, 15 years, but spends 8 or 9 years only in two signs: Pisces, which is last sign of the zodiac and very creative and deep, and Aries, first sign of the zodiac, which is like all about individuality and initiating and knowing who you are. So this Mars and Chiron in Aries and Moon are our emotions. One's connected with home, with mother, and Moon has the dark side that we normally don't want to pick. We don't want to see really what's there. We're scared, and it's hard to see. But I don't know if you know, like when we really just see one face of the moon, we don't see the moon doesn't spin, so we don't see the dark side of the moon. But this weekend, the moon was exactly on Chiron in Aries. Mars is there, so Chiron really wants to heal our identity, and Mars is helping. And I think that still is a struggle for me, because I got to the point that I know who I am, and connecting with all these energies that basically I just feel it all what's happening, and it's hitting me too. But still, I was not connecting with really anyone over the last 2 years. So I don't know where you are in this progress, in this kind of game where our higher self, which is part of all this collective and infinite consciousness, builds the whole universe, right? Like, imagine that this your higher self, it's like chose, like in a video game, like chose a character that I wanted to play with in this lifetime, this experience, right? Because you really come here for experience. Over there, you are a spirit. You can't touch, you can't taste, you can't smell, so you can't see like this, right? So we really come here for this, to have fun and to create from that place that's really connects with our higher self. And it's not a brain, that's a heart. The main generator, the center where everything, it's our heart. Unfortunately, we do have a lot of blocks in our hearts. That's why the energy doesn't really flow freely. And what's really ironic, that the blocks come from usually from our childhood, when we are very little, like 0 to 7, 8 years old. So like imagine you just starting to play this game And you know, you saying what's here, what's there. Sometimes maybe you join the wrong tribe, some wrong community. Maybe sometimes, you know, you listen to somebody who seems to be a better player and you wanna be like them, and you're just forgetting about your own powers. So astrology became to me like this kind of science who can show you what powers you took with you, can basically just remind you what powers you took with you at the beginning and then forgot about it, gave them away. But there is a purpose why you're here. We're either here to experience, to teach, or to compensate in any other way. So really, like once you know who you are, there is no other way. And obviously, we need to, when you go to the next level, it takes some time again to look around and see what's out there and, you know, let this energy settle a little bit. Maybe not easy. And I think that was what got happening with me this weekend because I really had trouble with just speaking to myself on a computer. I never really was doing it, and I also don't want to make it about myself. So I think it would be easier if you ask me a question. If any of this relates to you in any way, just ask me a question, and because all I know that I am here to bring the information from the air. I have a lot of air in me, and even the background picture, you know, has a lot of meaning to me, and I am drawn to this kind of pictures, and I can explain it later. Um, mm, but it's for a reason why I spent 2 years with all the informations and events and books and got all the blocks out from myself, so I can help I can help anyone now. Like I really dig so deeply in human subconscious and why we do what and all the patterns that, you know, a few months ago it all just came together with everything else that I was learning, and I know that I am here to help everyone with this, but I also don't want to just focus on one thing. For me, everything connects. So that was going back to the heart. That's the main thing that connects us because, like, imagine we come with breath and we go with breath. This is the body was chosen per spirit to have this experience, right? So we can see the touch and smell and have the vision and everything, but it all comes to breath, to the heart first, and heart is really the main generator. Now, even sciences, there are armies of scientists doing research about energies right now because we already know that Newton's physics models don't really work. It's not what it is. And once you just disconnect yourself from only that physical experience, when you really just thinking that this is the most important thing, right? Then everything changes. And when you remove a few of your blocks and limiting beliefs that you most likely have from the childhood, and you don't even realize these events could have such a huge impact on everything that you do and what you think in your life, really. So, you know, this heart is the most important here. And then brain is just like a processor, you know, it just takes all the things, informations, and processes the thoughts, gives meanings, sometimes good, sometimes bad. Um, you know, thoughts are common forming, you know, the vision, like all like brain kind of, you know, rules is just processing it for us, translates it for us for the experience. But the brain, ego, how I call it sometimes, it's you know, doesn't really recognize the what really should protect us from and what wasn't really important. Um, yeah, that was confused. But a lot. Like I like to compare. I like comparing ego to a photographer who just goes with us. Like, imagine sitting here on our shoulders and takes pictures of everything that's happening in our life. And if there was something painful, like when we're children and we touch hot stove, it's painful. We know we can't do this again. But then imagine that someone said something, or even you said something to yourself, and it created pain in your heart. When your heart closed, created the block, and then ego doesn't want to repeat it. Even it was something said in a situation that didn't that no one really wanted to hurt you, or something was just said in the wrong way, or something was said to somebody else and you heard it, or it could be something that you told yourself because you started comparing yourself to others, or in so all these situations are really small and simple if you come back to them, but ego really just remembers the pain, nothing else. And well, not nothing else. Obviously, remembers the pleasurable moments too, and that's why we just want to go back to them often. And even if we use substance sometimes, right? Like that's basically the addictions problems. Because we want to feel good. Like, that's why we're here, actually, have fun and feel good, and be good for ourselves and for each other. And basically, it's coming automatically because once you love yourself and you're good to yourself, you're good for everything and everyone. You stop judging yourself, you stop judging everyone. So, if anyone has any questions, or if you guys want me to talk about the past events, and maybe we can have discussion about the future. I can show you how this thing's gonna be transferring this week, and I can show you charts from the past and also from for the future, and we can have like discussion. But it's all about us. So please focus on yourself, because once we heal individually, everything else around us will feel easier, and also will heal our family relationships, our community relationships, and the global relationships as well. On the other side of us, the restrictive energy, all this energy in Capricorn, which is also being felt very strongly lately. So yeah, there might be more controlling decisions from governments and different organizations. So there may be more people on the streets really soon. I really don't want to start talking about it because I can continue forever. So I really want you to ask me a question if you have, or tell me what you want to hear. If you want to hear about the historic events, and to me, I want to tell you not only about the historic events, but how they connect with astrology and even religions and spirituality. So how it connects to us individually. It's really, really fascinating. So let me know, please. I love you all and hope you have a really successful battle between your spirit and your nature and your past, basically. And once you release your past, it's all the even past life, all these things gone, and there is no past. There's just now, and we will be creating beautiful new future and new world. That's what's happening. Maya's calendar ended in 2012 in December. Per book of Revelation, we had 7 years of preparation, and now we have 2020, year of truth. So don't waste it. It's not going to be easier. Don't do anything you don't want to do. Go within. Don't fear. And fight for your identity. Find out what powers you took with you and who you really are. Because we all amazing. Every single one of you is so fascinating. And I just want to show you how fascinating and amazing you are. So if you do want to hear about it, contact me, please. I love you all.